Good morning, Year 1. Is English for today. Because we are starting a new topic, we're thinking all about instruction writing today, and we use and follow instructions all the time. We're using them when we have to make something. So if we're building Lego, we have to follow instructions to build something. Okay, if we are building furniture, we have to follow instructions to help us build it. If we are making a cake, a recipe that we follow to make a cake is instructions. They are instructions because they tell you how to make it. Okay, so that's what we're thinking about today and for the rest of the week. Today I've asked you to think about the features of instruction writing, because instruction writing is very different from most other forms of writing that we do. Okay, so what I'm going to take you through today is what we need to think about when we are writing instructions, to tell somebody how to do something. And by the end of the week, you will be writing your own set of instructions. Okay, so it's really important to remember these features. Okay, so all the really important things for instruction writing. All the features. Can anybody think of any before I start? Have you already written some down that you thought about? Okay, well, one of the most important things when we're thinking about instruction writing is it's always in what we call the present tense. Now that's a bit tricky. That means when we're writing it as if it is happening now. Okay, not has already happened in the past or not is happening in the future. It is happening now, and that is called the present tense. Okay, so we write it as if it is in the present tense, as if it is happening right now. Okay, so it has to be in the present tense. Okay, you write it as if it is happening now, because when people are following instructions, they are doing it there and then. Okay, so for them it is present. They're not going to be building it. They're following those instructions at the time of building or at the time of cooking. So it's always in the present tense. Okay, we're not doing the past. Okay, now one of the most important things, and you'll like this one, another really important thing that we need to think about when we're writing instructions is they need to be bossy. Okay, so we use what we call bossy words. Okay, they are called bossy words. There we go, I'll put it on. So bossy words. Now, bossy words just helps us to understand what they mean. So if I was writing about a recipe on how to make something, I would never say, please may you cut up the butter. Okay, they're very bossy and they just go, cut up the butter into small pieces. They don't use those manners of please and thank you. It's very bossy. Okay, really important. We just say, pour the milk. We don't say, please may you pour the milk into the saucepan. Pour the milk into the saucepan. Bossy. Okay, now, I'm telling you they're bossy words, but you actually need to start thinking about and using the correct word for these, because this is just so you understand they are bossy words, but actually they've got a different name, and it's one that you need to know, and they are called imperative verbs. Okay, imperative verbs. See if you can try and remember that. Imperative verb, all it means is a bossy word. Okay, imperative verbs. They just mean bossy words, okay? But the proper word for them is imperative verbs. Okay, another thing and sometimes, sorry, not just verbs, sometimes they're adverbs as well. Okay, so they could be imperative verbs and adverbs to begin each step. Because this is important, because what else do instructions need to be? They need to be in the present tense. They need to be bossy. We need to use imperative verbs or adverbs, okay? But they also need to be, I'm giving you a clue. What am I giving you a clue about? What do they need to be? They need to be in order. It's really important that they are put in order, okay? So we need to make sure they are ordered. And an easy way to make sure they're ordered is to number them, okay? So actually, it's also important to number our instructions. So far we've got present tense, bossy words, imperative verbs and adverbs, ordered instructions, so it's easy for somebody to follow. If we put them all over the place, it makes it very difficult for somebody to follow, and then they might not make a very nice cake, and we want yummy cakes. Okay, so we need to make sure they're ordered, and an easy way to order them is to number our instructions. So each time we write a new instruction, we put a number, a bit like I am here to show you. Okay, now another thing to remember is to try and use some time connectives or conjunctions. Okay, we've talked about time connectives before when we are doing recount writing. So when we're doing recount writing, we use time connectives. We also need to use them when we're writing instructions. So you could use words like first, next, after that. Okay, they're still a bit bossy. So you can use time connectives. They can be really important with instructions. Okay. The other thing is often you need to use topic words. So if you are making a cake, you use words to do with cakes. If you are building something, you tend to use the right words, okay? If you are making if you were making a mobile, somebody might use the words that you need. So you might say, for example, you wouldn't just say, use something to hold on the butterflies onto the mobile. You would use, get some string, measure it to 10 centimetres each, cut it, tie it to your butterflies, okay, and then attach it to the mobile. So you wouldn't just use, get something to attach it to a mobile. You need to start thinking about using the words to help people, okay. Something really important is make sure your instructions are clear, very clear. If they're not clear, people can't follow them very well. Okay, so your instructions need to be clear. Very, very important. And the last thing is, when you are starting instructions, at the very beginning, you will notice that all of them have what you need. Okay, the equipment you might need to help you, or the ingredients you might need to make that cake. It's really important that you start with telling people what they need, okay? And then you write your method. Your method is where you actually write the instructions telling people what to do, okay? So first, you need to write what you need, or your equipment that you might need, or your ingredients that you might need. Then after that, you write your method, okay, to show that now you are writing the instructions that they need to follow. And the reason we do that is because a lot of the time we need to show people what they need before they can actually make it. Because if they haven't checked that they've got everything that they need, they won't be able to make your whatever your instructions are telling them to make. So we always tell people what they need first. What ingredients do you need? Because they may need to go to the shop to go and buy something before they can make it. If they start making it and then realise, oh, I haven't got any caster sugar to put in my cake, they're halfway through making it and then they need to go out and get the caster sugar. Whereas if they've got the ingredients, they can look beforehand and say, I need caster sugar. I need to go to the shop to go and get that caster sugar before I make the cake. Okay? I hope all of that makes sense. So the things to remember. Remember, present tense. Now, it's happening now. Okay? Like we were saying, get the butter out of the fridge. That's something you're telling them to do it now. Okay, present tense. Bossy words. Remember the big word for those? Good. Imperative verbs or adverbs, okay? It must be ordered. And to help you order it, it needs to be numbered, okay? You can use time connectives. You don't have to, but it's quite good to use time connectives. First, next, after that, okay? Use topic words to help so that people understand. Make sure it's clear instructions for people to follow. And then make sure you've written what they need and the method. Okay, the ingredients first, or what they need to make something. Do they need a screwdriver to help them and a hammer to help them? Okay, that's really important. Okay, Year 1, we're going to move on tomorrow to more things about instruction writing. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye, Year 1.